Diggers, what it do? Welcome to the SYFL Youth Football Podcast with me, King Digga. First of all, I'd like to welcome everybody that's involved in the youth football genre to your loved ones, friends and family, grandmama, granddaddy, all of them, aunts and uncles from Florida to California. What this podcast is about, it's about the Snoop Youth Football League. The ongoings, the happenings, what's going to happen, what been happening. It's about the most illustrious youth football league in the Southern California region. Let's talk about the 14 teams in the SYFL. Starting it off with the Carson Colts. Been around forever and been in All Jeff, but right here and right now, it's about the Snoop Youth Football League. Again, the Carson Colts. Next, let's talk about the Inglewood Chargers. Based out of Inglewood, they've been around forever. Inglewood Chargers still in effect. We can't expect nothing but their very best. Inglewood have always put a good brand of football on the field. Next, let's talk about the Baldwin Hills Bruins. You know, they get it in over there at Jackie Robinson Stadium. Baldwin been around forever. Like I said, they've been in the King Conference. They've been in the Orange County Junior All-American Football League. But right here, they where they supposed to be, in the SYFL. Baldwin always put a good brand of football on the field as well, and we can expect nothing but their very best. Next up, the Crenshaw Cougars. Based up out of Crenshaw, they always have put football as one of their priorities in their neighborhood for the youngins. You feel me? Can't expect nothing but some hard-hitting football up out of Crenshaw. Next up, we got a brand new team in the SYFL, the Harbor Area Raiders. They're a spinoff from another chapter, so they're new. They still know how to get it in the SYFL. New chapter, don't be in a rush to get your head bust, but welcome to the SYFL. Another new team, Juice County Buckeyes. Pretty much, I believe they're the OC Buckeyes, so they've been around in some other leagues. They have a good coaching staff, some coaches that know what they're doing out there. I do expect them to have some success, but don't get it twisted and don't underestimate the get down. You are now in the SYFL. Next up is Joe Moses LA Chiefs. I ain't gonna lie, they've been doing their thing. Been in the league about, I think, 3 years or so. And ever since they've been in the league, man, they done put their footprint on it. As a matter of fact, always one of the favorite teams. It's something in the water over there at Alondra Park and what Joe and them got them doing. Gotta salute the LA Chiefs, multiple Super Bowl champions at multiple levels. Next up, the LA Rams. Al Pal got the LA Rams going on. They've been around forever. Al Pal was one of our favorites. Gotta congratulate him. He won him a Super Bowl. That's a check mark for the old school. Al Pal still doing his thing and got the chapter going in the right direction. We also got the Linwood Knights, based out of Linwood High School. Linwood doing their thing, showing some little promise, ready to knock the door down. I expect one of them teams to be relevant. The Linwood Knights, ready for action. Now let's talk about the OC Trojans, OC Orange County. Now what I do remember, they have some relevant teams at the older levels, but there was this one team, the 8U team, best show on turf. They was putting that ball in the air. I believe they're going to be at the 9U level this year. Relevant, got some good coaches. Like I say, at the young level, to be able to put the ball in the air like they do, got to be dealt with. OC Trojans, ready to get it in. Now let's talk about the Reps. Reps been in for a couple of years, won a couple of championships. Reps coming back, bigger, better, stronger. I'm expecting big things out of the Reps. Next up is a second-year team in the SYFL, the South Bay 49ers. Last year they made a splash, won multiple championships. This is their second year. I can only expect them to be bigger and better than they were last year. Last but not least, let's talk about the Watts Dolphins. They was under Al Pal's umbrella, the LA Rams, last year, but now they doing their own thing. Their uniforms is dope, look just like the Miami Dolphins. They also play some good football. This is their second year, and I expect them to make that leap. Now let's talk about the first official day of practice. I know a lot of dudes been getting it in the spring, doing 707, OTAs, summer workouts, but the first official day of practice in the Snoop Youth Football League, July 22nd. So wherever you at, whatever you doing, whatever you thinking about, that's when you come under the rules and regulations of the SYFL. First day of practice, July 22nd. This year, it's a little different. Head coaches and presidents only. And it'll be up to them to transfer the information that we receive at the coaching clinic to the rest of the coaching staff. Now, those fees are due on July the 19th. Anything that's paid after that will be a $50 holler. So again, $30 before July 19th and $50 anytime afterwards. Another big day that's coming up, you need to mark in your calendars, is the Family Fun Day. That's on August the 25th. Last year was Alondra Park. We had some performances, we had good food, we had good drinks, the kids out there having fun, tug of war, throwing the ball around. As always, the SYFL Family Fun Day is just what it says, fun. For the kids, for the coaches, for the families, for the mamas, for the daddies, for the cousins, for the cheerleaders. So again, mark that day on your calendar, August 25th, SYFL Family Fun Day. Now the last thing, but not least, we want to talk about the Snoop Youth Football League podcast. That's where we're going to be chopping it up about the week-to-week get-downs, good games, good players. We're going to be bringing in the young athletes, the super-duper stars, interviewing them, chopping it up with them. Relevant coaches out there that's out there dedicating their life to the youth football genre. And as you know, we have a plethora of athletes that made it to the NFL. We've already had verbal commitments that they're going to come in studio, whether it be them actually coming in studio or we getting on Zoom, talking about it, chopping it up, you know what I'm saying, reaching out, showing our young athletes what the future can be. We're going to have relevant coaches from the NFL, college. And one thing that we're always going to be talking about every podcast is what's popping in high school. Because as you know, after their youth football career, they go on to high school. So we want to talk about some of our athletes that came from the SYFL. We want to talk about some of the regimens, some of the practices, some of the do's and don'ts. We're going to be talking about big games. So there you have it. Now, that show is going to be hosted by me, King Digga. Then we have a secret addition to our podcast. I'm not going to tell you exactly who it is yet, but I'm going to tell you this. This gentleman is very knowledgeable about youth football from all levels. I'm talking from playing, from coaching, administratively. This gentleman is a great addition to our podcast. And again, it's going to be once a week. Trying to tell you, it's going to be like something you can't imagine. We're going in depth in all levels of youth football. So there you have it, the introductory version of the SYFL podcast. And like always, stay tuned in and stay turned up.